Alrighty, folks, this is the Hub Call. This is when we do a quick check-in with what's rocking and rolling in Fresno, California. We have the one and only Carlos and Ty. Others may be joining shortly. But Carlos, you were first in today and you are doing what you do, which means you are out at projects. You happen to be out at something that my wife owns. So thank you for doing that bid. We appreciate throwing work your way. How's everything going?
Going well, going well. Excited. Every morning is exciting. Every day is different. So today we were here looking at this property and going. Uh, Usual carpet needs to be replaced, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but everything's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, one of the things you've got to have on your Rolodex if you are going to own units for a long term is somebody you can trust to go do the work. It's going to get you the right bid. It's going to do the right quality in the right time. It really is that combination. One of the things I've learned over the years is there are cheaper people, there are better people, but there's nobody that brings everything to the table, Carlos, like you guys do. Good prices, great quality, great service, and you just keep getting more and more of our work. So thank you for doing all of that.
Well, I appreciate you so much too for giving us the work. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, folks, if you are in Fresno or frankly the Central California and you wanted to get a bid on something, you wanted to somebody go inspect something, Carlos, you do work for others as well. What is the phone number for somebody to get on the list?
Most definitely, you can give us a call at 559-681-8431. That's 559-681-8431. And you will be talking to my wife, Martha.
Yeah, Martha is amazing. I heard, and Carlos, we haven't spoke. We haven't done a hub call for a couple of weeks, but you were at the Vegas event. I thought I would ask you your opinion. Actually, all four of us on this call right now are at the event. Carlos, I haven't heard from you. What did you think?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. There's a lot to say about that day, those 2 days, relationships, and also the conversations on the table that we were eating and talking and
Yep.
getting to know. Um, I think sometimes we get to the point where you think you're the only one struggling or you're the
Yeah.
only one through these challenges, you know. And when you look at other people's stories and their perspectives and their challenges, then you realize you're not alone. You just got to network. You got to be around the right people. And that's what it was, being at the network, at the event, just being
Yeah,
at the right people.
yeah, well, that's something I've come to appreciate is we obviously also have a private Facebook group, which you're a part of, that's only for course members. And the more and more I see people interact, network, ask questions, share the struggle, right? I'm very clear. The first 5 years suck. And sometimes you just need to put pen to paper. You need people to come around you and say, yeah, it'll be okay. Keep going. It gets better.
Mhm.
That's something that's very, very powerful. So we were glad to have you. And again, you paid up for the VIP seat, so you got special attention from all the speakers and whatnot. And it was nice to see you and Martha in there and talking and all of that. So thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell Lydia we love talking to her. She was great.
Yeah,
Uh,
she said that was a wonderful conversation. So thank you for that. Ty, you are up next, man. I actually just got done having a conversation with the man in Yuba City doing Ryan Nickel doing foreclosures and whatnot, and he's talking about some pretty wild stories in the foreclosure space. Some people got scammed, some people don't think it's really coming. I know you do creative financing. I'm curious, when you look at your last 6 months, what's a wild story that you ran across? You're just total crazy.
Oh, so many wild stories. A couple things I think that just people, a couple of things is that people like it, specifically on pre-foreclosures, people stick their head in the sand,
Yeah.
and that the initial the initial like denial, I understand that it's a shock, you're a little confused, you're upset. I get the initial denial, but then usually, if you look at the stages of grief, you go from denial to maybe angry, then sadness, and then hopefully you wake up and realize you have to do something.
Yeah.
Probably the wildest story I have is that in the last 6 months, the banks are actually foreclosing.
Yeah,
The
exactly. They started. Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually foreclosing. And here's what I also noticed. Not that this is so wild, but like if your loan is with, say, one of the major brand names, Wells Fargo, Freedom Financial, JP Morgan Chase, what they're going to do is they're going to sell it off to some subsidiary,
Exactly.
some kind of no name, and you're going to get that letter. And when you see that the loan just transferred, what that means is that is the actual chop shop. That's because when it actually goes to foreclosure, they don't want Wells Fargo or Freedom Mortgage to be in the headlines.
Exactly.
So
I think that's great advice.
The wild story is that I have never seen so many people call on the day of, call me at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. and say, hey, my house is going to auction today at 9 a.m. or 1:30.
Yeah.
Can you help me out? And I'm like, I'm pretty damn good.
I'm not that good.
Saying, like, if you literally that's like basically you're bleeding out and you're on the side of the road in the middle of the desert and you're finally going to call 911 and hope that an ambulance can get there in time. I mean, just wild. So that's what I see. That's what I see.
Yeah. One of the things Ryan told me, again, very different than last time, is banks are doing these loan mods even without people asking about it. So he told me about a situation where someone had a first, second, and a third. And then the bank gave up. And this person had bought the house in 2020, made one payment ever. And now they're finally going to foreclosure 4 years later. It's pretty wild.
Yep.
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing, Ty, that you and I are working on, I just want to keep teasing because I want to just keep motivated. I want to keep talking about it, is we're going to do a show called Buying Vegas. You were gracious enough to spend some time over the weekend, put together scenes and all of that. And I'm excited and nervous, which is probably a good thing. What do you think?
I feel the same way. And this is interesting. And I think this is very appropriate for the One Rental at a Time community, is that Michael took on this project and it was an idea. And then I got involved. And then even then I had an oh shoot moment where I'm like, what did I get myself into? And here's the real thing. And I'll tell for everybody, this is the moral of the story, is that you have a certain level of skill set. And then when you take on a new project, there's a certain level of challenge. And what happened is Michael and I, in getting together and collaborating on this idea, I feel very challenged. I have a lot of skill set, but I feel very challenged. And I also thought to myself, this is going to be challenging for Michael as well. Yeah. I know he's challenged with this because I'm pushing it as well. So I'm like, folks, I'm excited to see what the finished product looks like. I can't wait, Michael. I'm super stoked about what you're doing, what we're doing together. So,
2024 is supposed to be the year I get uncomfortable. Obviously, that started with trying to run this marathon at over 50. And it started there. But then you brought up this idea, and I'm like, I have no idea, right? All my stuff is live, all of that. I'm comfortable there. I get it. But I want to make buy and hold sexy. So I'm going to try to create a YouTube TV show. I'm willing to fund probably 3 or 4 episodes, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I hope to start creating content next week. And I'm excited and nervous. And folks, Olivia has agreed to be a part of it, which I think is extra special. So we're going to go about learning a buy box. We're going to do everything that's in my course, how to get started. We're going to talk to rock stars like Joe D and Brian Lebo and Lisa Sutton and many, many others. And we're basically going to try to document, hey, this is what we're doing in a brand new market. Copy what we do in any market across the country. I just want to prove that one rental at a time works, and anybody can follow it. So I'm going to try to make buy and hold sexy. I'm not sure it's possible, but you and I are going to give it a shot, right?
I love it, man. I am excited for it. And I know for sure this is also too, and I just want to tease this for the community, because I know there's a community of hardcore Michael Zuper fans, hardcore One Rental at a Time. By the way, who is Olivia? Who does Olivia? Is that a real Like I'm confused. Like, this is exciting because also I challenged Michael, and then I said, no, we've got to show your real life. We want to see Olivia. We want to see candid conversations. We want to see we want to see what the struggle really looks like when you're really at the kitchen table. So this is going to be, if you guys know anything about Michael, real as real can get, authentic. And that's what he is going to do with this show. So I'm excited, Michael, to be a part of it. Thank you for for allowing me to be a piece of it. So,
Well, again, back to your kind of earlier point, we're taking action, but imperfect action. We're getting 1% better every day. That's really everything I've built my life on is I don't worry about perfection. I don't worry about other folks' stuff. I just want to be better tomorrow than I am today. And this is just going to be another example of that. And I will admit that I'm happy we're walking arm in arm. It feels like we'll take some of the arrows and heat together. So it's
Yep.
just not me. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yep. All righty, Mr. Matt, the mortgage guy. What's going on in mortgage? Rates are falling. Dude, rates are falling. I'm nervous, dude. The housing market might go bonkers.
Lowest rates in over a month. Over the next couple of weeks, a lot of data that's going to affect mortgage interest rates. We got, CPI coming out this week and PPI and retail sales, initial jobless claims. And so, a lot in the news. We've said it numerous times. I literally just got off a call. That's why I was a few minutes tardy here today, talking about all this stuff and how, I don't have to be a market genius to know at 6.5, there's more demand than there is at 7. At 6.25, more demand. At 6,
I got to tell you, this is my words, not yours. So if I'm wrong, this is on me. I think it's worse than that. I really, really do. Let's remember the consumers. We have a large set of folks that have been trying to buy a home for 2 years. They've been taking action. They've been getting outbid. They've been doing this and that. They're feeling, frankly, they're pissed off. And a pissed off consumer might do something really stupid. And that means rates come down to 6.75, 6.5. And they say something like, honey, I am effing done. We are buying that home. And then bad stuff happens. We really get another 10% pop.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because that's what's happened over the last couple of years is, this demand has had enough upward pressure on prices that no matter how much people, kind of wiggle and are uncomfortable with affordability and payments, the prices just continue to go up or at least stay stable. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't want to make any, broad projections because we just don't know. But for sure, everybody I talk to, myself included, I've got 85 or 90 pre-approved buyers that are willing and able to buy. What I'm trying to do is help them beat the pack to the market, right? Because the pack is big and it's hungry. And like you said, they've been waiting 2 years. So when rates do come down, and we think that they will, it's just going to bring more demand. It's going to push home prices higher. I don't know if you saw, but over the weekend, this is the best analogy I've seen in a long time. Somebody commented on Ryan Lundquist's post that had something to do with a 19% increase year over year of inventory, which up 19% from a really small number isn't really substantial. But as they were having discussions about how do you describe the housing market right now? What does it feel like? And this is people from across the country. I thought this analogy was absolutely spot on, so I'm going to repeat it. And Ryan tried to give that person credit. That person said, no, I heard it years ago. So it's gone through a few people. Who knows who to give credit to? It's like a plate of nachos, where you got a plate of nachos, the perfect nacho with the right amount of cheese and one jalapeno and a little bit of sour cream. All those are getting picked right away. The soggy stuff, which is bad neighborhood, shag carpeting, bad layout, that might sit. Nope, you might never get picked, right? But the nachos that are perfect are going fast. And so I thought that was a really good analogy because in the market, everybody's like my buyers, a lot of times are first-time home buyers at or near the median. They want a nice turnkey house. They're not general contractors. They don't want to do work the cost to do. So they're feeling like the effects of a really tough market, a really competitive market. Investors have the luxury. You might be able to buy an ugly duckling, but on those turnkey ready at or below the median, that stuff is selling so fast. There's way more demand than there is supply.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling folks like Lance Lambert, Mike Simonson from Altos Research is, guys, you keep talking about the market. You got to remember at minimum, there's below and above the median. Because again, we got to remember the luxury stuff is stacking. The days on market are longer. So you're getting a distorted view. The entry level stuff, dude, I talked to an agent yesterday, somewhere in the Midwest. I think it was St. Louis, 45 offers on an entry level home.
Yeah.
This is not California. This is freaking St. Louis,
Yeah.
right? Wild, wild. So
I've got some soggy nachos. I've got a
go ahead.
bad HOA that I'm praying that I can get this thing offloaded for the estate for a family. And it's like, it's a great property, but it's got a horrible HOA. Anyway. So,
They poured too much cheese on that nacho. You got to tell them like, it still tastes good.
too many HOA cheese assessments or I don't know. But anyway, let me ask, I'm sorry that I just hijacked it, Michael, but I want to, are we going to go to 6.5 by Easter? Or are we going to bounce around after CPI and all the financial readings this week?
We're going to have a lot clearer picture after all these numbers, right? I don't think it goes down that much that fast. I think it's a slower burn, which is what we all want, right?
Yes.
We want a slower burn across the board.
Yes.
We know it's healthy, but we've also seen we've been on this teeter-totter roller coaster. I mean, do we go to 6.5 and then
let's play
up?
Here we go. This is what I think. And again, I don't, because I'm not licensed and hey, it's my channel, right? So if people throw arrows at me.
Yeah.
We have a CPI reading tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. Right now, I think CPI headline is expected to be 3.1. If CPI comes in at 2.9, we could see 6.5 by Friday. By Friday. I'm not saying it will.
Say it again one more time.
If CPI headline prints 2.9, again, expectations are 3.1. So this would be a big miss to the downside. We could see 6.5% 30-year money by Friday.
Okay, a follow-up question, Mike, because this is all good talk. Next week we have the Fed meeting. Currently, right now, 3% chance of a Fed rate cut, right?
There is a 0% chance. No chance.
Okay. So you don't think that no matter what happens with CPI numbers, that affects that at all? It's already 0% in the books.
Maybe in May or June, right?
Today we are playing for June or July. That's all this is. March is not happening. You're freaking crazy.
So
we got Bitcoin at 72,000.
Do the other way though.
Okay.
So let's just say the CPI comes in a blip, a grain higher.
Oh, I like.
Then do rates go to back to 7 or 6.99 or what happens?
I love, dude. You guys are awesome. You get me. So let's say tomorrow morning, if CPI headline prints 3.3, so we'll go a big miss the other way. We will be back over 7% mortgage rates by Friday.
Wow.
And to Matt's point, no rate cut in March. Yeah, March rate cut's not coming. I don't care if CPI comes in at 4%. We're not getting a rate cut.
You better tell those buyers to get their offers in and locked today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys got inside info on the CPI number? You guys think it might have a what's your percent that it's got a 2 handle, Mike? That it's 2.9 or lower?
Oh, that's a good. So let's play this out. So over unders 3.1, and I'm gonna say I lean 3.1 or higher. I think the odds are it goes higher. I think commodities are higher. I don't think housing is rolling over nearly enough. So if I had to pick a number, I think 3.1. I do think 3% is possible because used cars and other things are truly becoming deflationary. So there is a chance. We also have a large number rolling off called the base effect. So I think 3 is possible. I would say a chance of a 3, like 3 even, is 25%. A chance of a 2.9, which if I really squint and we get a meaningful impact from shelter rolling over, I'll give that a 5% chance. 2.9.
Okay, 5%, 2.9, 25%, 3. Then you got to put a percentage on 3.1, which is at forecast, and then a percent on above forecast.
So I'll give you 50% 3.1 and then 20% above. So I think that equals 100.
Yeah, it does. You nailed it, man. You're pretty good with numbers. You're
Yeah,
my
I
kind
got
of guy.
So,
my
So what
mom
if it
says I have
just-
a chalkboard in my head.
what if it comes in right at expectations? What happens?
50, nothing.
Then
so
the rate
let's-
just kind of plays out. It just
Yeah,
kind of.
the rate is the slow burn. I think let's just say it comes in right at the number 3-1. I think rates do the slow. They go down. They don't go up, but they only go down a little bit. Basically, it's validation that the Fed is winning. In my opinion, we are playing for a June or July rate cut at this point. Everything is about June or July. Yeah. So
Interesting.
I love this conversation. We got to make more of these hub calls, the collection of us asking questions. I loved how that went. So Ty, thank you for doing that.
If you
Let's
watch
go around
the
the
sports shows, they kind of always, we got to put a
Yeah.
little tension in there. So
we're getting a little fight, a little spice. So let's go around it because again, you guys are helping people every day. Matt, the mortgage guy, you are licensed in 48 states. It can help people in the other two. If somebody wanted to get in queue and get helped, how do they reach out?
Greatmortgagebroker.com. Just fill out the quick form, and whether you want to get pre-approved and get rolling, whether you just want to have a conversation, we're happy to help. Greatmortgagebroker.com.
And Ty, if somebody has experience writing for TV or has done some writing of play work and wants to help us kind of make this thing amazing, how should they reach out to you?
ty@tylg.com, ty@tylg.com. I treat email like text messages. I look at them. It's not a big garbage can for me. I love email. So email me and I will respond. So thank you.
Yeah, very cool. And Carlos, again, you are out doing work for Olivia and we appreciate you. But if somebody wanted to reach out and have you get a bid for them, how would they do that?
Definitely. Give us a call at 559-681-8431. 559-681-8431.
And Carlos, do me a favor. Give me a big smile. Everybody calls you Mr. Smiles. There he is. There's Carlos.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care of yourself. Have an amazing day.
See you guys.
Later.